Shall we start with a long gap, lot of confusion, lot of problems. I don't know whether I will continue the classes, seeing the disturbances. Om. Yeah, let us do little bit. Om. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om, Om, Om. Purvapakshi told, fifteenth page. Dharma Jignasayaha Pramana. Yeah, in the 11th point we were discussing. Yeah. Tasmat अनुभवार्थत्वात् वेदांत विचारस्य न किंचिदपि वचनमात्रात् yeah he said, Purvapakshi said that the anubhava, you told anubhava is required, but Purvapakshi argued against anubhava. Anubhava is not enough. What Purvapakshi is trying to say is, anubhava is not enough. Anubhava is not there. There cannot be anubhava. For that he gave an example. Just as our anubhava, our present experience is not enough to tell you what is heaven. Because the experience of Manushya Loka, the human being who lives in the Manushya Loka with the human body restricts our experience, our capacity to experience, our level of experience. It limits to human level alone. Just as a person who is living like an animal cannot experience how the life of an animal is. A person who is living like a human being can experience a human level, can't experience an animal level, can't know the heavenly experience. He cannot know the heavenly experience, because to be able to have an experience of a heaven or experience of an animal, the human mind restricts you. You have to give up the human mind, then only body assumes another experience. Body becomes capable of assuming another experience of heaven, heavenly world, Swargaloka or Pitraloka or Brahmaloka or Pashupakshadi or Narakaloka. So each loka has its own level. Okay. And those experiences cannot be experienced as long as you are in the human body. Human body is capable of experiencing human world alone, human experiences alone. Therefore, Brahmanubhava is not there in us. But what Purvapakshi tries to say is, there is no Brahmanubhava. Atiprasangat, he says, tadaparokshaya etadjanma prayukta sharire jayamano anubhavaha sakshan nopayujyate. The experience of the present Manushya Janma Manushya Janma cannot include, cannot incorporate, cannot give you an idea of Brahmanubhava. Tatha jivatah swatmajnanepi swanubhava nopayujyate. So, okay, this is what he told. Siddhanti answers, what you are talking is too much. Why too much? It is outside. It is outside. You are talking something which is outside our experience. Okay. I think my page is missing. Where is the page gone? My translations page. Somewhere it is missing. 15. Somewhere it is gone. Okay. It is lost somewhere, doesn't matter. So what he says is, R26, it is just here, but I am unable to trace it where exactly. Doesn't matter. I shall explain from my thinking alone. So what you are telling is far-fetched. It is not talking relevant to the life, because see, we say Brahmanubhava is present right now. It can be referred to. You said Brahmanubhava, it is not possible to have a Brahmanubhava now, since the human body and human mind is restricting your capacity to have deeper experiences. See, larger experience, larger means vaster, broader experience, deeper experiences are not possible, because each loka gives you certain level of mind and certain body. Each loka, like the Manusha loka, each loka gives you certain body and certain level of mind. So that mind requires punya as well as samskara. Okay? Punya, samskara, knowledge and all. So, according to your punya, according to your samskara, the mind is capable of experiencing having some experiences. Body also restricts your experiences, body of that particular loka. So, because of these restrictions, these limitations, you cannot have the experience of heaven right now. Right now you can't experience how the heavenly experience is. For example, in heaven there is a freedom, because you will be free from insecurity, free from the fear of death, free from the diseases. When there is no death, when there is no fear, how you feel free? But here, living in the human body, you are continuously haunted by the fear of death, fear of disease. Therefore, living in the human body, you can't enjoy the joy of heaven. It's not possible. Purvapakshi told. So here, how can you, when you cannot have a heavenly experience right now, as long as you are limited by the human body, Manushya Loka, how can you have a Brahmanubhava? Okay, this was Purvapakshi's argument. Here Siddhanti answers, you are making one biggest mistake. What is the biggest mistake? You are comparing with other experiences. Brahmanubhava is different. Brahmanubhava cannot be compared with other heavenly or Vaikunthanubhava, Swarganubhava or any other Anubhava. Because, see, there is a difference. Any other experience is another state of mind. You are in one state of mind, another experience is another state of mind. So, one state of mind can't think of another state of mind, because another state of mind has to arrive. Your mind has to change. Your mind has to change, transform into another state. Therefore, it is difficult to get that states. Okay? Therefore, you are right regarding other experiences, but regarding Brahmajnana, Brahman is not an another experience of the mind. See, this you note it. You made a big mistake here. Brahman is not another state, it is a universal. That you missed it. Brahman is a universal fact. Universal fact is not a special experience. Okay? But any other loka, heavenly loka, swarga loka, brahma loka, or any other is another special loka. It requires a special experience. Any special experience comes in a special condition. Okay? A special experience comes in a special condition. You need a special body, specific mind, specific samskara. For Brahmatvam is not a special experience. This is what I feel some of the Advaitins alone. Some of the Advaitins have missed it. They say, when Vedanta says, when Satchidanandendra Swamiji says, when Shankaracharya says, Brahma is a direct anubhava, everybody's anubhava, even Ajnani has Brahma anubhava, everybody has Brahma anubhava. You can never miss Brahma, because Brahman is an absolute universal fact. It is a universal truth, therefore it is a universal experience. Note it. Brahman is a universal truth, is an absolute truth, and it is a universal experience. Nobody is ever deprived of Brahmanubhava. Note it. Nobody is ever deprived of Brahmanubhava. Brahmanubhava is absolute. I will give you one concrete example. A person living in one town can't go to another town unless you travel. You can't experience another town while living in one town. Okay? Impossible to think of another town. As long as you live in Hole Narsipura, you can't come to experience Bangalore. You can't come to experience Delhi. Why? Because you have to give up Hole Narsipura, travel to Bangalore, then only you can see them. Because that is in another location. But if you want to see the total space, Nirakara, the space which is formless, which is all pervasive, what do you do? What do you need to do? How long you need to travel to be able to come into contact with the space? Is there any location? Is there any town, any village, any tree, any plant, any mountain, any river, or any person on the earth who is away from the space? Is there any person, any object away from the space? All the things are existing in space alone. So, one object may be away from another object. One location may be away from another location. But no object is away from the space. Space is universal. Not it. Space is universal. You may have to travel, from one place to another place in order to experience another town, another person. But to be able to be in contact with space, you don't have to travel. How many kilometers you have to travel to be able to see the space? You have never left the space. Note it first. You have never moved away from the space. You have never gone away from the space. You don't have to travel in order to see the space. You are in the space. You can never move away from the space. You can never miss the space. Okay? Similarly, you have never moved away from Brahman. A wave has never moved away from the water. Wave may be different from another wave. One wave is different from another wave. To assume another wave, this wave has to make a lot of changes to become another bigger wave. For the wave to become water, what does it have to do? What effort it has to make in order to reach water? For the wave to reach water, for the ornament to reach the gold, for one ornament to become another ornament, the goldsmith has to do lot of things. Okay, the goldsmith has to melt it and reshape it, hit it, and then it has to go through lot of process. For a one ornament to become another ornament, a lot of process you have to undergo. Okay, that's why there is a karma. Karma, punya, papa, samskara is required for one ornament to become another ornament. How much effort is required for an ornament to become gold? See? How much? How far is the ornament from gold? One ornament is away from another ornament. See? When the gold is in the form of a bangle, in order to make it into a necklace, you can say the bangle is away from necklace, because the bangle shape has to be removed. You have to put another shape to it. Okay, from the one shape to another shape. There karma is required, change is required. Karma is required, change is required, another place, another time, another thing. You need a time gap, you need effort, you need a transformation, change. How many things are required? For the ornament to become a gold, no effort is required, no karma is required, no time, no place, no effort, no transformation, no change. You are already gold. What a beautiful example. Similarly, for a jiva, whoever he is, however ajnani he is, for a jiva to come in touch with Brahman, you don't need anything. Brahman is an ever existing fact. It is a universal experience, it is a universal fact. Because you don't have to travel, you don't have to make effort to reach Brahman, because you are Brahman. You have never moved away from Brahman, so that you need to come closer to Brahman. You don't need to go closer to Brahman, because you have never moved away from Brahman. Or in other words, you have never missed. You have never missed Brahman. Nobody has ever missed Brahman. Effortlessly you are Brahman. Without any effort, without any movement even. You don't have to move your hand to become Brahman. You don't need even a little bit of shaking. At least while taking a photograph, you say your head is bent, lift little bit. Or you look this way or look this way. At least you have to shift this way or this way. But to be Brahman, you don't have to shift even this much. Okay, you don't have to shift even this much. See, for a wave, how much it has to change to become water. The experience of water is inalienable experience. You can never miss it. I don't know how to express in English. Unmissable. You can never miss it, because it has never been lost. And the Brahmanubhava is there in everybody. You only have to turn your attention, that's all. All that you need to is turn your attention towards you, towards real you, your pure existence. Your pure existence, which is pure consciousness, is there all pervasive. It is pervading all your experience, all your states. Wherever you are, even in your hell, you are Brahma. Even in your Manushaloka, you are Brahma. Even in Pitraloka, you are Brahma. Even in your Sargaloka, you are Brahma. Even in Brahmaloka, you are Brahma. In wherever you are, in whatever condition you are, you can never move away from Brahman. You have never been away from Brahman. Therefore, Brahmanubhava is a universal experience. This is what Shankaracharya told, Dharma Jignasayami Vashrutyaya Pramanam, just as Pramanam Brahma Jignasayam, in Brahma Jignasa, Just as in Brahma Jignasa, the Shruti statement, that means an authoritative text alone is enough to reveal what is Paroksha, what is not in your Anubhava, what is Paroksha. An authoritative text, a Shastra Vakyam is enough. That means you have to depend on whatever Shastra Vakyam says. You have to see whether it is logical. That much you have to see. You have to see whether what it says is meaningful, logical or not. That's all. Beyond that, you cannot verify it directly in your experience. If Shruti says there is a Punya Papa, if Shruti says there is a Swarga, there is a Brahma Loka, if as long as what it says is reasonable, you have to accept it. You can't verify how Swarga is like in your Anubhava, you can't verify. But Brahmatvam, you can verify right now, because you are Brahman. Where is that Brahmanubhava? It is there. You can see in your Sushupti. In your Sushupti, when you are Jivanubhava, when you are Indriyanubhava, Jivanubhava means Indriyanubhava, Manasina Anubhava. The experience through sense organs, the experience through mind is set aside. When the experience of mind, experience of sense organs are set aside, you are you. You are not reaching you. You are not moving towards you. You are not traveling towards you. When alien thing is set aside, you stay yourself. When what is other than you, what is wrongly imposed upon you, imposed means misunderstood. When what is misunderstood upon you is set aside, what is naturally present is you. What you are is self-existence natural. What you are is self-existence and natural. Okay. Therefore, Brahmanubhava, for Brahmanubhava you don't have to show excuses that you don't have Brahma. Because some of the Advaitins say like this. What is the proof for Advaita? They say either Shruti Pramanam or a Brahmajnani's Anubhava. Brahmajnanis means a third person. A third person who claims that he is a Brahmajnani. His words are proof, his words are the proof that there is Advaita, or believe the Shruti statement. But both are third person's statement alone. Whether what Shruti says or what another person Brahmajnani, he might be Brahmajnani, we are not disputing his experience, he might be. We have no way of refuting. We have no way of refuting a given person is a Brahmajnani or not. Okay? We can't, we have no way of refuting. Why refuting? We have no way of verifying. Therefore, if he claims to be Brahmajnani, might be there. We don't dispute. We don't reject. We don't dispute, might be. Then he might be there. But how does it show? How does it help me to verify in my Anubhava? If what Shruti says, I have to verify, I have to look for its reality, its validity in my experience. But if they say, some of the Advaitins, if I don't have Advaita Brahman in my experience, then how do we know? They say, we have no way of knowing it. You only have to believe it. Therefore, when you listen to Shruti Vakya, after Jnanam dawns, then Brahmanubhava comes. Okay? The Brahmanubhava comes. Brahmanubhava means the universal fact. The universal reality is covered by a layer. Covered by a layer. So, right now you can't have Brahman experience. Okay? When the Upanishad teaches, when the layer is set aside, then you will come to have Brahmanubhava. That means Brahmanubhava is another experience, a new experience that has to dawn upon you. But Shankara, following Shankara, Sachidanandendra Swamiji said that Brahmanubhava is there right now. Right now you have a Brahmanubhava. That is, Sushupti is you, your Brahmanubhava. In fact, Sushupti is an empirical name for your Brahmatvam. Okay, Shankaracharya says, and following Shankaracharya, Sachidanandendra Swamiji says, Brahma, we are talking of Brahmanubhava. People say, that means by going to sleep, then you will become Brahman. See, this is different. Going and coming is different. We are not talking of going to sleep and coming from sleep. We are talking of the experience of deep sleep, that's all. The very experience itself, not coming and going. Coming and going implies you are away from it. Okay? You are away from Sushupti. From there you go to Sushupti. Then come away from Sushupti. This coming and going involves that, implies that you are somewhere outside Sushupti. You are in waking state. We don't know which state, whatever state you are. You think that you are in a state, whether waking or some state, you are in a state which is away from the sleep and you have to reach the sleep. This is what you think. But we are not talking of going and coming to sleep. Going to sleep and coming from sleep. We are not talking about going and coming. Set aside that. We are talking of experience of deep sleep. That's all. Not how you come, how you go, whether you come or not is a different. The experience itself directly. No question of coming and going. Okay? The direct Sushupti experience itself is Brahman. And it is a universal experience. Nobody can deny. Therefore, the Sushupti experience, one more thing. Sushupti experience, you don't have to go to Sushupti experience, because Sushupti is not another state of you. Sushupti is not another state you are going to reach. Like space. The worldly example, take it. You are here. From this room you have to go to another room, you have to travel. You have to move, get up and walk from this room to reach another room. Or if you want to go to the Rama temple, in Holy Narsapur I am here. If you want to go to the Rama Mandira, you have to get down, you have to go down the staircase and walk down to the temple. But if I have to go to the space, where should I walk up to? How many steps I have to walk to reach the space? You are where you are. Whether you move or don't move, you are in space. Similarly, from one state to another state you have to travel. So, Brahmatvam or Sushupti is not in another state of mind. Note it, is not in another state of mind. You are in waking. When you are in waking, do you think? Yes. People think that when they are in waking, we are not in Sushupti. We have to go to Sushupti. We are talking of that Sushupti which you are already in. Neither you are going nor you are coming. It is a nameless, formless experience. It is not a given state. It is not a state of mind. You have never moved away from Sushupti, nor you will go to Sushupti. You are Sushupti. Sushupti means what? When no duality, when there is no mind, when there is no thought, that is yourself. So, you are not going into another state when all other things are set aside, all the limited experiences, all the limited thoughts are set aside. You alone remain. Remaining of yourself, the soul you alone remain, that is Sushupti. Sushupti is not another experience you acquire. Sushupti is bare yourself. Bare yourself. So you don't have to travel to yourself. Do you have to travel to yourself? Just as does a wave has to travel to water? How far is the wave from water? How far you are away from yourself? I am. You know that you are existing, that existence is Sushupti. I am, the very existence. Existence is not bound by time and space. It is not related to any form. It is not a bodily existence. It is not the existence in the form of mind. It is not an existence of sense organ. It is the pure existence. That is you. So the pure existence or pure consciousness, you are. You have never moved away from it. Though you appear as a body and sense organs and mind, body doesn't move away from existence. Mind doesn't move away from existence. Okay? Sense organs don't move away from existence. World doesn't move away from existence. That existence is you. It is your universal experience which nobody can deny. Even atheists say that. Atheist has to admit that there is an existence. That existence alone is continuously experienced. Therefore, Brahmanubhavam is not a new, an extraneous experience, a new thing you are yet to gain. What you are is Brahma. Okay? What you are. Your attention is in time and space. Your attention is relative, isn't it? So you only shift the attention, that's all. So you shift the attention to the common basis, that is your pure existence of yourself. By taking your own Brahmanubhava, your own pure existence as a basis, you can compare the body comes and goes, mind comes and goes, sense organs come and go. What doesn't come and go is the bare yourself. So that Brahman is the common basis. Taking it as a basis, you compare with others and say everything else comes and goes. So what is a natural self-existing reference point? That is Brahman. It is self-existing. I don't have to teach you. In fact, taking that as a basis, you are listening. Taking that as a basis, your mind is working. Your sense organs are working. Body is working. Anything is happening to you, taking that as an experience. That experience nobody denies. Nobody loses. Nobody misses. Nobody goes away from it. That is you. Therefore, Sushupti is a formless, nameless experience. It is not an experience. It is bare yourself. But Sushupti looks as if it is another experience of another time, other than the present experience. It looks that Sushupti is another experience other than the one I have. See, it looks like that, but the present experience as if it is covering, isn't it? I'll give you one example. Like it looks that wave is covering water. Is wave covering water? Is wave not showing water? Is wave not showing water? Does the wave cover the water? Does the ornament cover the gold? Similarly, does the world, does the waking state cover the consciousness? See, does the waking state cover up the consciousness? It can't, because within the consciousness alone you see the world. Waking state is that existence. In the existence alone you see the waking state. Waking state is when you say the very isness is Brahman. The appearance is waking state, but waking state is appearing implies that it exists. That existence is Brahman. That is you. Existence is not somebody, it is you, very much you. Therefore, that is Sushupti. So Sushupti is not a new experience. As an alt is new experience, you have to go there and away from the present experience. The present is included in the Sushupti. Like the number 5 is included in 10. Now, supposing there is a number 5. What should the number 5 do in order to reach the 10? 5 is already part of 10. 5 doesn't have to go to the 10. Let it understand it is already part of 10. Okay. Similarly, all your wherever in whatever form you are, you may be in one form, but in that form your existence only, you are Brahman only. In whatever form you are that part of Brahman. See, 5 is only out of the 100. What is the 5? 5 is 120. How much is 10? 10 is 1/10 part of 100. So anything is certain part. certain percentage of the original thing. So wherever you exist a certain part of the space alone. Okay? Certain part of the space, you are never away from the space. Similarly, nobody is away from the existence, nobody is away from the Brahman. In whatever form you are in a human form, that is that much part of same Brahman alone. You are in whatever form, in whatever percentage you are. Suppose you are a 5%, you are 5% of the same Vastu, same object. If you are 10, okay, the 10% of the same Vastu. If you are 20, 20% of the same Vastu. If you are 50, 50 of the same Vastu. Whatever the percentage may be, the Vastu is the same. Okay? The thing itself is the same. The wave may be smaller. How much is the wave of the water? It may be 5%, it does not matter. 5% is still water only. 10% is still water alone. 20 is still water. Whatever the percentage, the wave is, it is still water alone. Okay? It is not away from water. Therefore, wherever you are, in whatever form you are the Sushupti. You have never moved away from the Sushupti. Therefore, you do not have to imagine the Sushupti. The problem is you are trying to imagine. And that imaginary idea, you imagine Sushupti because now you think you are not in Sushupti. You are in elsewhere. Sushupti is elsewhere and you are comparing. That means you are comparing with an imaginary thought. We are telling Sushupti is not imagination because Sushupti is unimaginable. That is Sushupti. Why? You try to think, you become blank. Blank means no thought. That is Sushupti. Why no thought? It is yourself. You can't imagine yourself. You can't imagine yourself. You try, mind fails. That's what you. When mind fails, let the mind fail. But what is it you are trying to think of that remains? That is you. Because you cannot be thought of. But your self-existence is self-existent, that's all. It is self-shining. Your existence you can't deny. Your mind may be unable to imagine, but you can't deny your existence. Your mind may be unable to imagine you, but you can't deny your existence. That means mind is unable to imagine, but unable to deny it. Mind is unable to imagine, but unable to deny, because the very existence of mind implies the existence of you. See, the very thought implies existence of you. That is the pure consciousness, pure existence. That is expressing as a mind. Even in the absence of mind, how do you know that there is no thought? How do you know that there is no thought? There is no thought. That is the truth. There is a thought, still it is a truth. That means the consciousness, there is a thought and no thought. State and no state. State and no, waking and no waking. Both are Sushupti only. Waking is within Sushupti. Waking is not outside Sushupti, note it. Waking is not outside Sushupti. Waking is included in Sushupti, like any other space, any other area is included in the total space. Any other area, any limited area is included in the total space. Similarly, any thought is included in the consciousness. Any experience is included in the existence. Self-shining, self-existence, anything is included in your existence, okay? That existence is neither you nor mine, because you are part of that, and you, me and all the world, all that you see is a part of one existence alone. The existence is indivisible, okay? In the existence you are included, I am included, everything is included, world is included. That existence is indivisible, inalienable, okay? It cannot be alienated, you cannot miss it. That means it is inalienable, okay? That pure existence is inalienable, because you say, here is one hand. If you have to put the book, you can put the book over the hand, okay? You can put the book below the hand, but can you place the book exactly where the hand is? You can't do it. You can't put the book in the place where the hand is, because hand has to be removed in order to put the book. Okay, that means a book can replace the hand. But here you see space, take example. So to replace one hand can only come only after removing the hand, this another hand can come. That means it can only replace. Before replacing, it doesn't allow this hand. But in order to put in the space, do you have to displace the space? Now you have to bring the hand, you have to bring the book. When the book is brought, do you have to displace? Space cannot be displaced, and you don't need to. Similarly, when the wave has to come, do you replace the water with the wave? The wave, when it comes within water, or replacing the water, wave comes. Wave doesn't replace water. Okay? Wave doesn't replace water. Wave is only appearance of the very water. Wave is just like a dancer dances. Various postures, dancing postures. Each posture is a dancer. They are not replacing dancer, nor covering up the dancer. Okay? The dancer is not changing to dance. Dancing posture. Okay? The water is not changing to water, wave. Water is neither changing nor getting replaced nor getting covered up by wave. Is water covered up by wave? Even while wave you are seeing only water. Water is not covered up by wave. Water is not replaced by wave. Water is not changing to become the wave. Neither transformation, nor replacement, neither removal of water, nor transformation of water, nor covering of water. Then what is wave? In spite of wave, there is water. That means wave is nothing other than water. Wave is only a name. There is nothing. There is nothing. It's except a name, there is nothing. So a name doesn't cover, because name doesn't mean anything. Similarly, the pure existence, which is you are not transforming to become the world, nor you are covered up. Your existence, your self-shining, Atma is neither covered up, nor transformed, nor replaced. Okay? Just as water is neither replaced, nor covered up by wave. You see the wave and water. Is wave replacing water? Covering up the water? Is it changing the water? Modifying the water to become something? No. No replacing. Water is not replaced, nor modified, nor covered up, nor distanced. You are not distancing. The wave doesn't mean distancing from water. Then what is it? You watch these very words. You have been seeing water, you never miss it. When water is not missed, there is no change in water, then what is wave? Question comes. There is no wave at all, it is only a name. Vacharambanam vikaro namadheyam. Chandogya Upanishad is only a name. You have been seeing right now the very water. Similarly, the truth is universal. It is nameless, formless, but it is the very existence. It is the very consciousness. Nobody can miss, because it is the very consciousness in which there is thought of I. This mind is thinking, sense organs are knowing, the world is perceptible. All that is where? Happening in the consciousness. The consciousness is ourselves. That is our real self. Our real self is that consciousness. That consciousness is pervading all your experiences, all your thoughts, all your sense experiences, all your thoughts, all your movements. See, when you move, all your movements are within your consciousness. When you move, are you moving away from consciousness? You may be moving from one place to another place. You may move your hand from this position to this position to this position. See, when the dancer is dancing, she is moving her hand from this position to this position, or this, or this, or this. In all her movements, are the movements moving away from the dancer? or are they going away from the dancer? None of the movement go away from the dancer, note it. No movement to cover up the dancer. No movement to go away from the dancer. All the movements reveal the dancer continuously. All the movements of the dancer reveal the dancer continuously. You never miss the dancer. Similarly, all the names and forms, all the movements, all the thoughts show the very pure consciousness. Without consciousness, there is no thought. Because consciousness means thought only. The sense organ, sense perceptions, thoughts, ideas, experiences, all of them mean consciousness. None of them cover up the consciousness. In fact, they reveal consciousness. Okay? Each thought reveals the very consciousness. Just as each movement of a dancer, don't pay to her movement, pay to the dancer directly. If a parents of the dancer look at the dance, but more than the dance, they never miss her daughter. Because in all movements, their attention is on her daughter alone. But other people, we ordinary people, when the dancer comes onto the stage, we see her. Once she starts dancing, we get absorbed in the dance and forget the daughter. Because we don't know, she is unknown girl, we don't know who is she. So we see her postures, Abba, Rama, she holds Dhanusu, she looks like Rama. She holds Chakra, she is a Krishna. We get absorbed in the Narasimha, she is showing such a frightening picture of Narasimha. And Vamana, like holding a umbrella, she is walking like a small Vamana. Okay, Parashurama, she holds that, what is that? Weapon. Parashu, holding a Parashu. Axe, okay, holding an axe. Oh, you see only Parashurama. So you are seeing the ideas suggested by the various postures. You get absorbed in those ideas. You miss as if you miss the dancer. But each posture is revealing the dancer. No posture goes away from the dancer, moves away from the dancer. Similarly, every experience, we are too much paying attention to the shape rather than who is that assuming the shape. We are absorbed, our attention is diverted towards the shape and the form and the name and all. But in whatever shape it is, who is that in the shape? The existence is in the shape. The consciousness is in the shape. So don't pay attention to the shape. Go to the very content. Go to the very existence of it, not in what form it is. See, parents or any person whom you love, your loving person, you see the person, that's all. In whatever form he is, it doesn't matter. In whatever dress, whatever clothes, whatever is a sitting posture, standing posture, doesn't make any difference. Whether he or she is standing or sitting, once you see the person, he is mine. He is my person. Standing, sitting, anything, you see the person. Posture you ignore. Okay? Maybe sitting, standing or anything. The posture, dress you ignore, you see the person is mine. Your attention is only on the person, not in the shapes and the postures. Similarly, all world, your individuality, your mind and sense organ, your aham buddhi, I, the notion of I notion, the world, all these are the various apparent forms of the one pure existence. Okay? One consciousness. So, instead of paying attention to the forms, pay attention to the existence. That existence is inalienable. You cannot miss it. Nobody can miss it. Therefore, that itself is called as a Sushupti. Sushupti is an empirical name to yourself. That's why when you try to imagine Sushupti, it looks like a blank. Why it looks like blank? Because mind is unable to grasp. What mind cannot grasp, it puts one name to it. It imagines something. It calls it something. Thing is, don't imagine. The imagining is mind's job. Mind is calling it as a blank or dark. Don't call it a blank and dark, because it is the mind is putting that name. Mind is putting blank and dark because mind is unable to catch it. Because when you think of Sushupti, you know what really happens. When you think of Sushupti, mind merges. Now you retain the mind and imagining. That is not Sushupti. When you think of Sushupti, mind merges into Sushupti. Mind doesn't live to imagine Sushupti. Okay? If mind is imagining, then you are sitting in waking and imagining and trying to imagine Sushupti. You are sitting in waking and trying to imagine. That means mind, without losing itself into Sushupti, it is trying to imagine. It is something like you take 1 liter pot, 1 liter vessel, try to measure how much is the ocean. I told ocean is very big. He asks the question, a person who is holding a 1 liter pot, 1 liter vessel, how big is the ocean? Oh, it is quite big. And he brings his vessel, 1 liter vessel. See, this is the biggest vessel I have seen in my life. Okay, can I measure ocean with this? Oh, this is nothing. Then when you try to measure, what does he do? Okay, you told ocean is big, I'll tell you how big is the ocean. He goes and he measures, he tries to measure with his vessel, and he dips it and takes out, and he says only 1 liter alone. Removes water, again dips it, takes out, and he says there is only 1 liter in the ocean, there is nothing more than 1 liter. You see, that person, each time he measures with his liter pot, and each time he takes out and he says 1 liter, again he takes out 1 liter. He says, 100 times I measured, I found only 1 liter. You told it's more than 1 liter. Where is that 1 liter? More than 1 liter. So that means you are looking at only liter pot. You are not looking at ocean. You are not measuring the ocean. You are never measuring. You are only looking at pot alone. I say, look at the ocean. You look at the ocean, put your liter pot in the ocean and look at the ocean. Your liter pot disappears into it. Liter pot, by disappearing itself, it shows how big is the ocean. The very liter pot disappears into it. Mind disappearing itself into Sushupti, it shows how big it is. Your very mind disappears into it. Mind means unable to think. Disappearing means mind unable to think and it ceases to be mind. Mind unable to think ceases to be mind, because here is something where I am not required. A liter pot is not required to measure the ocean. Do you need a liter pot to measure the ocean? Liter pot is unable to measure. It is impossible. It is unable, it is impossible, it is not required. It is beyond the liter pot. Throw away the liter pot gets merged into ocean. Similarly, the mind which is trying to think of Sushupti, if it imagines, it is still retaining its distance. It is unnecessarily imagining something. We told it is beyond mind. Sushupti is yourself. It is beyond mind. You imagine what is beyond thought. You just give, for sake of fun, you ask your friends, think what is beyond thought and tell me what is it. They try to think. That is the biggest mistake. When I told think what is beyond thought, you can't think. First thing is you can't think. They think and try to answer. That is a mistake. You say, I told, see what is beyond thought. What is beyond thought? Let me think. Beyond thought, and you think and tell. If you think, then that is not beyond thought. You are thinking. I say, stop the thinking. Then there is nobody to think and nobody to answer. There is nobody to answer, isn't it? When there is nobody to answer, that is Sushupti. When you put a question, there is nobody to answer, because the very person who is to answer with the very question, along with the question, he merges. It disappears into the pure existence. Therefore, what mind cannot imagine, mind itself merges into it, disappears into it. Mind doesn't want to merge. Mind wants to retain. Mind wants to measure what is beyond mind. Just like a 1 liter pot wants to measure what is beyond 1 liter. He says, you told beyond 1 liter? Let me tell you how is beyond 1 liter. How? With my liter pot I will tell you what is beyond 1 liter. How does the liter pot tell you beyond 1 liter? It can't tell, because all that it knows is only 1 liter. It can't know. There is one way of knowing. The liter pot can tell you what is beyond 1 liter. It can tell you only by disappearing itself. A liter pot can tell you by disappearing itself, it can tell you what is beyond liter. Okay. Similarly, sushupti means is not something which is imaginable by waking mind. Waking mind imagines, that is not sushupti. Why? If my waking mind imagines, why can't it be sushupti? It is not sushupti because it is the waking mind that is imagining. Waking mind means you are not sleeping. You are imposing upon sleep. You are imposing upon sleep, you are not sleeping. Waking mind itself is imposing upon sleep. Therefore, waking mind cannot show the sleep. But see, therefore sleep is, you allow the sleep itself to reveal. Don't impose, don't imagine anything on it. Leave it to itself. When it is itself, it is there. It is swallowing the entire waking state. It is swallowing the entire mind, because it is the pure existence. Existence is dimensionless. It is infinite existence, because you can never see the end of existence. Okay? You exist. Can you see the end of your existence? The edge of existence? You can never imagine end of your consciousness. Can consciousness imagine end of the consciousness? You are conscious being. You imagine the end of consciousness. The very imagination is within consciousness. You can't end consciousness. That is infinite. When you say your consciousness has no end, okay? Your consciousness has no end. You can't end it. You can only say blank, but blank is not ending consciousness. Blank is also consciousness alone. Therefore, conscious has no ending. That means it is dimensionless. Dimensions are shapes imagined within consciousness. Consciousness itself is infinite. It is dimensionless. It has no ending. That never ending. When it doesn't end, it doesn't begin also. No beginning, no ending, ever existing. It is self-shining. It is self-revealing. A self-shining consciousness is Brahman. Okay? Therefore, that anubhava is a universal experience. It is not a special experience. A yogic experience is a special experience, requires a special sadhana. But a universal experience doesn't require special sadhana. You only have to shift your vision, that's all. You only have to shift your vision from the narrow to broader. Means you shift your vision, you stop paying attention to smaller thing, that's all. You stop paying attention. By paying attention, unnecessarily you are narrowing down your attention. You are narrowing down your attention, that's all. But the fact, universal experience, universal fact is inalienable, it can't go away. Your attention is only limited. Your attention is narrowing down. Therefore, don't narrow down the attention. You are the infinite. The self-existent Atma is there. Therefore, the Atma Anubhava, more we have to talk in the next class. So, okay. So, Atma Anubhava is there right now. Therefore, Vachana Balat, Upanishad takes your Anubhava as a standard and verifies all other limited experiences. Waking experience, dream experience, or if you imagine deep sleep as an another state, as an another blank, if you imagine, okay, the blank is a state, but the deep sleep itself is not a state. A thought about deep sleep is a state. Okay, see the difference. Deep sleep itself is you. It cannot be thought of. But if you think about it, then it is a state of mind. Two ways of looking at the deep sleep. One is imagining as a state, another is yourself, being yourself. Okay, so any experience is only one angle of looking, a limited area of looking, but to verify all other experience of waking, dream and any other experiences. All other experiences are coming and going, they are all limited. You can watch them, various experiences, against the background of universal experience. Universal experience forms the standard, a universal background. Universal background forms the, because it is a self experience, that forms the background, that forms the standard. Against it you measure all other experiences. All other experiences are limited, you negate them. You negate them because they are limited. The understanding the limited itself is negation. Limited, you understand. When all of them are understood limited because they move and come and go and all, there is one which neither comes nor goes. It is infinite. That is the basis forming for all our observation. In all Atma Vichara, in all our investigation of Atma, in all our investigations, there is one standard universal experience. That is the basis. Without that, no investigation can take place. So therefore, that universal experience alone is the basis for your Atma Vichara. Okay, we'll stop with this. We'll continue tomorrow. No, tomorrow will be, I think, same day 2 classes. I am unable to take the strain. So alternate days we have. Tomorrow we will have Vedanta Paribhasha in Kannada, and tomorrow and next day English. Okay, one day Kannada, one day English, like before we were doing before. So yesterday I had to talk Paribhasha. I couldn't do that due to some other disturbance. So tomorrow Paribhasha, and day after tomorrow we will have Mulavidya Nirasa in English. Okay, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat.